What's up guys, welcome back to another Bungie weekly update, the 7th one in fact. Real quick before we start, I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for getting the channel past 30,000 subscribers. It's absolutely insane and I seriously appreciate all of you. I know I said I'd do a face revealing vlog, giveaway, and Q&A for 25,000 subscribers, but none of that happened for various reasons, which I apologize for. But anyways, I'm gonna do all of those things soon since we passed 30k, and the giveaway will be better than it would have been. Stay tuned for those coming up in the near future. So thanks again everyone, and let's get into the update. Starting off with a massive tease, Deej tells us that many of them, or perhaps all of them, I'm not too sure, were sent home equipped with a test console loaded with a build of Destiny. I cannot wait for the beta when we'll finally be able to play the game ourselves. Continuing on, he says, friend requests were exchanged, invites received. We boosted through the jungles of Venus, astride vehicles in search of adventure, arriving just in time to help our fire teams overcome outrageous odds, with newly acquired weapons and gear. And then he continues, back in the studio the next morning, it was all smiles. High fives were exchanged. One of our most enthusiastic testers insisted upon it. Of course, a favorable test always points out new work to be done. Test or no, our work does not stop until you play. Anyways, they're definitely having fun testing Destiny. Again, I cannot wait for us to do the same. Skipping forward, he says, in the area of the weekend champions, people are experimenting with new toys that will extend their battlefield awareness beyond their line of sight. In the animation pod, each race and class of Guardian is looking, feeling, and moving in a unique fashion, right down to the very piece of equipment that they wield. The writers are planting the seeds of the story that will envelop the world of Destiny, in soil you may never see, unless you are truly the exploring type. That all sounds quite awesome, especially the part about unique animations for each race and class, down to the equipment that they're using. And then he ends this segment with, there were quiet moments too, in which we might have done nothing more than watch snowflakes touch down on the water. That also sounds awesome, I'd love to see that. Moving on to the segment titled, Once More Unto the Breach, Deej shows us examples of how the art and design teams brought the concept art to life. They've talked about this in an interview before, but he gives some cool examples here. First, the initial part of the wall in Old Russia. The top piece is art and the bottom piece is in-game footage. Both look amazing, but I agree with what they've said in the past, which is that the in-game footage actually looks better, thanks to the lighting effects and such. Also in the in-game image, we can see he's carrying a cool customized rifle by the looks of it. Even more interesting though is the ability or grenade or whatever it is, down on the bottom left. It looks new, I don't remember seeing it before. And then when you look at his weapons, the handgun in his special slot also looks new to me. Next is that room where Rixus the Arkenslayer attacks us, called the Fallen Lair. Again, concept on top, in-game footage on the bottom. The Fallen took this place over from humanity, attempting to make it their own by hanging up the remains of their once regal banners. The final one here is the tunnel exiting the wall, designed to show the players that they are going in the right direction. It looks very different compared to the rest of the wall, and the light essentially beckons you to it. Deej ends that with, that's just a few corners of the world that we're dreaming up. Just imagine where else we'll take you. That's what our whole concept team is dreaming about as you read these words. Next, Deej shows an image from a meeting they recently had, where Ryan Ellis explained their plan for the beta. Deej adds, if that screen wasn't overexposed, you'd know all about the path we'll send you on when you take your first step away from the safety of the city. For now, it's for us to work on. We're taking our steps so that you can take yours. Ending the update, as always, is a mail sack. The first question comes from Melting Army Men, who says, can you please remind people that this game is going to be on Xbox 360 and Xbox One? Deej says, friendly reminder, Destiny will be released on 4 consoles. We're covering more ground and reaching out to more gamers than we ever have before. New consoles, legacy consoles, Sony consoles, and yes, Xbox consoles. So I guess that's about all they're doing as far as damage control after the outrage from Xbox fans at PlayStation getting the beta early. The thing to remember though guys is that they are contractually bound and can only do so much. The next question comes from Deadly Kiwi 99, who says, you have said the way players customize their Guardian will change the way they play. Could you elaborate? Deej replies, "You'll learn soon enough. Maybe you'll discover it for yourself in the beta. Maybe someone else will tell you. Maybe I'm dropping hints." The next question comes from Deej Bungie. Wait, what? Anyways, Deej asks, "When is the Bungie podcast coming back?" Deej replies, "Whoa, you took your own question? Is that even legal?" The Bungie podcast will return next week, assuming someone smart can help you load it onto the site. So there you go, Bungie podcast coming next week sometime. Expect a breakdown of that. The final question comes from Apotheosis, who asks, "How big is the Bungie community?" Deej responds, "Big enough to fill a city. The real question remains, can they defend it from a hostile takeover? Will they welcome new allies to help them fortify their defenses, or choose to stand alone against their enemies?" So kind of a silly question there, but a cool reply. Ending the week, Deej says, "Time heals all wounds and satisfies all curiosities. Every week, we have less of it to spend waiting to grasp a fusion rifle in our hands and face the dangers of the unknown together. Talk to you next week, perhaps even literally." So there you go, guys. That's everything for this breakdown. Real quick before I go, if you're interested in Titanfall, please go check out my friend Titanfall Nexus, who's covering all the latest news and info on the game, much like I do for Destiny. I also have good friends covering Halo 5 and the new Star Wars Battlefront game. They're all linked in the description below, so please go check them out if you like any of those games. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Thanks again for getting us over 30,000 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next update.